Thinking of playing Death Ride Salerno, 29th Panzer Grenadier. Okay, continue with the Allied Army operations. And you'll see how all of this stuff can be done in a very, very, very flexible manner. Again, the only hard and fast rule that I've found, well, the hard and fast rule to remember as you go through and do all your activities with your units is movement. Once a unit starts movement, it has to complete its movement before another unit can move. But otherwise there's, well, I'll still show you how there's a ton of flexibility. And remember that there are 6 different forms of movement. But this is what I want to do. What I want to do is I want to have the lead American engineer company on foot there. I want them to move forward 1, 2, 3. It's for foot, it's a movement point per clear hex. So I want them to go 1, 2, 3, which is half their movement allowance. Their movement allowance is 6. Well, I guess I'll start showing. Using the player aid card right there. So movement factor. Whoops. Movement factor is the bottom right. And if there's nothing behind the movement factor, it's leg. If it's, or what do they call it? Foot. Okay. If there's a yellow behind it, it's tracked. And if there's a green behind it, it's wheeled, which corresponds to the different costs you'll pay for terrain. Nothing unusual there. So I want it to move half of its movement allowance, and then I want it to shoot, which will be at a penalty. I think it's a -2 DRM. So this is how this is going to work. We're going to go 1. And then this unit here. So what do we have here? This is well, it's a fortification, but yeah, it's a fortification. So in the fortification, which is in the woods, which is on the hillside there, is this armored cavalry there. Yeah. And so they're going to conduct opportunity fire against the moving Americans there. So they've spent 1 movement point. That's just to remind me. Okay, opportunity fire. So again, it's they're going to use their primary gunfire factor only. They call it weapon factor, primary weapon factor. I'll keep using the play aid, but I think these counters are so nice to look at. But that's me. So top. Okay, so they correspond, right? So the primary weapon factor is the middle number on the top, and its range is down here, 5. In this case, it's a primary weapon factor of 2 out to a range of 5. In the American case here, we have 3 at range 4. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 3. Did I do this again? I don't think. Okay. I did this again, didn't I? I don't think they can even get on the table for the ratio. So, which at, I mean, these are 333 meters, or 1/3 of a kilometer, if I remember correctly. Yeah. It's 1/3 of a kilometer. So the fact that it's 1 1/3 of a kilometer away is perfectly realistic. Okay, so they're going to continue on, right? So 2. Okay, and then we'll go 3. So actually going to put moved half to remind me. Okay, so now things are very different now. It's okay, same deal. The armored recon there is going to conduct opportunity fire, but in this case, they're within range of both primary and secondary, and so they're going to go ahead and combine them. So what they're doing is they're using their secondary weapon factor, which in this case is a 6. The Germans. Did I say Americans before? The Germans, they have a 6. Well, basically have a 6 and a 3. That's their secondary and primary weapon factors. And the ranges are 2 and 4. So now they are within range of both secondary and primary. Okay. And they can combine them. They don't have to combine them, by the way. They could choose to just use their secondary, in which case they would go, then you'd put a fired secondary on them, which is a reminder that they can still use their primary, and then later in the turn, if they use their primary, then you can flip it over and be fire complete. Actually, never mind. That's not for opportunity fire. That's for regular fire, not for opportunity fire. Let me show you how opportunity fire. Opportunity fire would be primary and secondary towards that moving unit. Okay, so what that means is if I start over, if they went 1, and the Germans were able to use their primary weapon factor and actually get on the table by ratio, which again I don't think they can, but if they could get on, then they could fire primary against this moving unit. And then if this unit was able to continue on and moved on to here, then they get into secondary range. Then they could use secondary fire against this unit. I'll get to more on opportunity fire later, I think. Okay, so it is 9 against 20 now. But let's see if there are any. Okay, so this is how we do this. I guess I do need I guess it will help. Okay. This is our, let me get this. Okay, I couldn't figure out how to do this. Maybe this will work. So this is the firepower table. I like it, and I like it a lot. It makes it all, I don't know. You can figure it all out, I guess. Okay, let's go through this. So obviously the German unit's firing, American unit's target, and both apply here. So let's go across the table. You have hard targets. Is this, I don't know what you want to call that, brown? Hard target, medium target, soft target. This is, the American unit is a soft target because the defense value there, 20, has nothing, has no color indicator behind it. If it had an orange dot behind it, you know that it's a medium target. If it has a brown dot behind it, you know it's a hard target. But the fact that it's nothing, that's what the white here means. It's not white, it's clear, it's no color, which is what you have here with the 20. Okay, now we go weapon factor type. We're going to start with the secondary weapon, which is the first number, in this case a 6. You're going to go, actually it matters here, it's 6/3-18. The dash, there's a line here. The line right here, this line right here, is labeled German and Allied units with minus, which, by the way, I don't think that that's spelled out very clearly, but once you figure it out and get a hang of it, it's not bad. It's, yeah, but I'm not sure that's clearly spelled out, but that's what that minus is. Okay, so we know we're using this line here, and then it's secondary weapon at short range, because the Americans are 2 hexes away. So secondary at short range, that's what the NA means, not allowed. You can't use the secondary weapon at long range. Secondary weapon at short range is, and there are 2 numbers, ×1 / ×2. That is basically for, ×1 is for greater than 1 hex away, ×2 is for an adjacent target. So obviously they're 2 hexes away, so that's not adjacent, so we use ×1. That means that it's this factor, 6 × 1 or 6. Then we go to the primary weapon, weapon type is the 3. By the way, the blue background here, what do you want to call that, a royal blue, I guess, corresponds to the dot, the royal blue dot that's behind the 3. So the primary factor at short range is also times 1. So basically 6 plus 3 is 9. There are no adjustments from the firepower table. Okay, so once you total up your factors and you use your firepower table to compute any modifications, okay, next I'm going to make that ratio. Whoops. So I'm going to take the attacker's 9 in this case, divided by the defender's factor to get 0.45. So then that ratio, I'm just going, so that I'm 0.45 means I'm on the 0.33 table or column, because I don't have enough to get to the 0.5 column. So really, I've got my column, and now I'm just going to do my die roll modifiers. And I know, okay, so I don't think any apply except for the opportunity fire. So -3. Now, okay, that's not good. 5 minus 3 is, yeah, 2. Okay, not enough. So basically, I need basically I need a 9 or a 10. Okay. If the -3 sounds like a stiff penalty for opportunity fire, I should make it clear that each. So let me finish this out to show what I mean. But basically, you are conducting unlimited opportunity fire as long as you have a valid, circumstance or case. So what happens here is, okay, so the opportunity firer there, the Germans use their primary and secondary, right? So I can go ahead and grab an op fire complete. Op fire complete. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the op fire complete on this unit. Once this unit is done, actually it's really done moving. So they are done moving. So this was kind of a formality here. Okay, now the Americans, they've moved half. By the way, this is the flexibility. If I remember correctly, I say if I remember correctly because it is, I believe, 100% implied in these rules, but I think that it's spelled out in the later Kursk rules. But you can put this moved half on here, and you can come back later and do his after move fire. Again, I think it's implied here because it doesn't say you can't, but I know that doesn't sound good. But later in the Kursk rules, I do believe it's spelled out. So, but anyways, I'm going to have him shoot now because I want to get another fire in. So they're going to shoot at these Germans here. I'm going to go ahead and do this attack and come back. Okay, so very bad roll. You need higher. So they're done with their fire after movement. Trying to think. Oh, actually, there was one more thing. So I'm going to be backing up a bit in concept here, but they're done. So I'm flipping over to moved full, which moved full in this case means they're done. They didn't actually move full, but they're done now. Because that unit is done, this comes off now. Because again, when like this unit starts moving again, that unit can opportunity fire again. Because in this game, we're talking 1 hour turns. All right, what I wanted to show. Okay, line of sight along a hex spine is blocked if there's blocking terrain on one of the two sides. So the line of sight from this unit goes right along the hex spine here, here, and here, and then it's blocked here. But for a moment here, let's just, as a matter of fact, I'll just move him over like that. Okay, so if this unit were here, I'm going to move him back when I'm done, but now the line of sight is good. The only thing I wanted to show is that when the German unit conducted opportunity fire against the moving American dismounted engineers there, this American unit is an overwatch. And so this American unit could fire at the Germans conducting opportunity fire. And in game execution terms, the overwatch fire would go in first. So the Germans would declare opportunity fire, but before they even resolved that, they would have to survive overwatch fire. So that's the benefit of the overwatch. The overwatch is to counter enemy using opportunity fire against friendly moving units. So that's how that would be done. But in this case, there wasn't line of sight, and then they're out. Yeah, okay.